Hey, welcome guys back to Meetings of Mavri. I'm your host Mavri, and right now we're going to be watching Shield Hero episode 11. So, last episode was kind of a transition episode. We learned a little bit more about the world, the politics that we are currently in, as well as set up for this big final battle of the wave. And I say final battle because from what I can deduct so far, these next two episodes are essentially going to be the end of the first core of this anime. So this anime is slated for 25 episodes, so it covers two cores, both the winter season and as well as the spring season, and from what I can gather so far, the beginning of the second core or second half of the anime starts from the first episode in April. So what I'm thinking right now is they're going to use these next two episodes, this one and the next one, to basically battle out this big wave. And there's also lots of interesting things about this wave as well. First of all, we got a humanoid enemy that apparently has intelligence, so we can also start to speculate where these monsters come from. Why exactly are there waves, and what does that have to do with the overall story? And I think that's enough of a recap. Not much else is happening in regards to the real life. Again, they have a event happening at the end of the month, but I'm pretty sure most of my viewers will probably not be able to go. So you guys can check that out on their Twitter page if you guys want to. For now, let's just see what's in store for us in the anime. So let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, so yeah, this happened in the last episode. So like a quick recap? Oh, so they did my job for me. Alright. But yeah, this definitely leads me to believe that these next two episodes is going to basically be the end of this current first arc, if you will. Oh yeah, and even completely forgot to mention the Queen and Melty as well. But I suspect that they're not going to play any role within the next two episodes. So they're much better prepared this time. Oh, are you finally giving them their... Yay! He finally gave them their presents. And Philos? Oh, it stays on. You know, I still have no idea how her clothes work. Okay. Only 5? That's... Go! Alright. I'll see you guys after I skip the opening. And back. Is that a goblin? Alright. Nice. Oh. Okay. Martial artist? Wait, who are you? Oh, really? Okay. Okay. You go, Grandma. You go. So again, he's going to be basically on auxiliary duty while the other guys take care of the situation. If we're going by the tower defense analogy, theoretically each wave should be stronger and stronger, right? Actually, I think this was mentioned. I kind of forgot. Okay. Oh, it's these guys. So, what to do? Skull Captain level 49. Ren is at level 65. And the rest of them are around level 50. What about you? Yeah, you tell her. What kind of game requires you to... Yeah. And you call yourself a gamer? And out of all the people here, nobody knows light armor, light magic. Alright, is the boss coming? No. What, is that supposed to be? Oh, no use? I seem to recall there's a comment saying that the fast that is used here basically should be first, or basically the first level of magic. Really? Can't touch me. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so no actual level. Chip damage, eh? And what are the rest of these guys doing? And what are the rest of the guys doing? I know this is supposed to like be a sentimental scene or something, but come on. So he can actually summon it at will? I thought he wouldn't use it unless in a very, like, last resort. Oh? Yeah. Growth affected by zombie dragon shield? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? So I'm guessing this skill feeds on the rage of the things that it absorbs? Absorbs? Oh yeah, and hatred. Ooh. Oh, one hit. That's it. Yeah. You guys are awfully lax for heroes. Yeah, it's your country, girl. Alright. Oh. Okay. So he actually has... Oh, he controlled it. Nice. Is that like a Pokeball? Oh, it is an Iron Maiden. Alright. Dang. They went all out with the imagery. Boom. Nice. Oh, somehow I don't think so. Yeah, you might want to take a look at the wave. It's not dissipating. Are none of you guys looking at the background? Ooh. Ooh. Here we go. Damn. Grass? Nice. I love characters that use fans. Like, yeah. Yep, and then another episode before we enter the second half. I'll see you guys in a second. And there we go, the beginning of the final battle, at least of the first half of the season. A bit disappointed that we didn't get to the fight with the lady in this episode, but I guess there were plenty of things that we were shown and we can talk about in this episode as well. So, first of all, well, it's the first time that all the heroes are actually fighting together, right? I do think that this was inevitable, especially considering what we saw in the opening. Even though they're making out these other three heroes to be assholes to Naofumi, I definitely feel like that's not going to be the case for the entirety of this series. In fact, I think what it's going to do is gradually ease up and make these other heroes eventually turn into Naofumi's allies. Probably we're gonna get a redemption arc or something, and so where they can prove their worth, yada yada yada. And that's how it's going to end up in the end. Because, you know, they're not actually evil or bad, right? Just, I guess, misguided, especially a certain golden-haired dude. So I do believe that eventually they will probably turn around and become Naofumi's allies. Although, speaking of which, misguided, I can sort of understand, right? You're naive, fine. Eventually, you're gonna turn around. But within this episode, I felt like the other heroes were basically incompetent, right? And that's something that isn't as easily excusable, especially considering that from the very beginning, their whole, I guess, setting or whatnot was that they were smart, they were talented, they were knowledgeable, so on and so forth. But I don't know, it just seems like they are pretty much useless within this episode. Which actually brings up another interesting thought that I have, and that is, so bear in mind, the other three heroes were basically given first-class treatment by the king already within this country, so everything that they need to level them up, to prepare them for battle, so that they can fight the waves. And even so, they still struggled, and in fact, if it wasn't for Naofumi being here, they would probably have failed, right? So this begs the question, what would have happened to this country if these heroes were not able to repel the wave? Would the country just get destroyed? I actually don't think so. I do believe that there's probably another trump card that this kingdom has. So definitely their military power, or their powers in general is not just limited to these few knights and the hero. There has to be another fallback plan for them to use. So potentially that's also going to be part of the plot as well. So yeah, I believe that the country has some other cards on hand, and they're simply utilizing the heroes to, I guess, conserve energy in a sense, like cut their losses. They don't need to spend unnecessary manpower and lives on fighting back these waves. Just let the heroes take care of it. And I guess that's the reason why they were summoned in the first place. So that's in regards to the heroes. Next, let's talk about the Rage series, right? The Rage Shield. So it's quite interesting, right? I did note within the Dragon Zombie episode that, you know, that was a, I guess, crystal that materialized from within the zombie dragon. So what I'm getting right now is that the the Rage series, or Curse series rather, works on basically observing the hatred or the fury, the anger of others, and that is in a way how it gains experience and levels up and unlocks new things for you to use. At least that's what I'm getting right now. I don't think it has anything specific to do with the crystal being from a dragon zombie, either a dragon or a zombie. Probably anything that has this rage before it dies. If you can get some materials out of that monster or being or whatever, then you can inherit their power, their hatred, and level up the Curse series. So that's what I'm getting from what I can see so far. And some cool abilities, right? So I did see a mention of Pipe Shield, Chain Shield, Iron Maiden. I still have no idea why it's called Chain Shield, and within the UI it has a little attach sign or wording on top of it. Not really sure what that is either. I will say, however, that I really dig the Iron Maiden effect. That scene reminded me a lot of another one of my favorite mangas, Shaman King, right? In Shaman King, there's this character called Iron Maiden Jean, who's basically a parody on Jean d'Arc, and she has this exact same ability, right? Even though, you know, conceptually, an Iron Maiden is supposed to be a torture device, and it's kind of bad, right? But I really do like the entire concept of using an Iron Maiden to basically kill a monster by trapping it within there. I do dig that effect. And then finally, let's talk about Glass, right? This new character, this new humanoid character with intellect. I made the theory last episode where, since this seems to be a case where even the enemies have intelligence, right? They're humanoids. They can speak. They can think. There definitely has to be another society where they come from. But sadly, since we only saw a glimpse of her, we really don't have any idea about her yet. So far, all we know is that she uses folding fans as weapons, and I love it. It's always been a sort of a soft spot for me, or bias for me, in regards to characters that use folding fans as weapons. Some very famous examples would be such as Mai from King of Fighters, or I guess the Chao sisters from Dynasty Warriors. Dai Chao. Actually, how do you say it in Japanese? In Chinese, it's Da Chao Xiao Chao. But yeah, Daikyu, Shokyu, I believe, is how they say it in Japanese. And they use fans as weapons, and also a lot of stuff, a lot of derivative works from in regards to the Three Kingdoms period from Chinese history, or actually a lot of wuxia works also feature fans as weapons. Like, I don't know, I just like the concept of something that's kind of high class, kind of noble, and it's just a everyday thing. It's graceful, right? It's just a graceful way to fight. Historical accuracy be damned. So yeah, so immediately I love this character already without her doing anything. I do hope that the next episode, when they do fight, they will actually get some more properly animated fighting scenes, right? Like in this episode, yeah, they had all these other heroes using their various abilities and whatnot, but it was pretty one-sided, right? It's just them firing abilities at the monsters. I want to see how Glass actually fights in hand-to-hand combat with all the other characters. I do feel like that would be very cool. So, I believe that's all I have for this episode. It's kind of short, but not really much happened where we can speculate. It's more of a just, you know, hey, watch the Shield Hero and company do this kind of thing. So, that is that. Next episode, if my theory is again correct, or if my interpretation of the situation is correct, next episode should be wrapping up this wave. They'll probably repel it, and then a week after that, we can start with the second half of the season. Now, unfortunately, for next week, I'm probably not going to be able to make this episode on time. I do believe I'm going on a business trip. Yeah, I'm going abroad again, but this time it's not for vacation. It's actually on business. So yeah, I'll have to postpone the episode until, I don't know, the details of my trip I haven't hammered out yet, but maybe at most 1 week delayed, right? So sorry for that in advance. Life calls, work calls. But I hope you guys will still be able to watch it once I eventually do get around to uploading it and making it. Or in reverse order, basically. So, anyways, that's been episode 11. This has been Mavry from Musings of Mavry. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully not too far away. So, stay tuned. Bye-bye.